I feel there's never really been a better time for art. Maybe not the arts, but for art. Because art is being created all over our society in all kinds of interesting, spontaneous ways. I don't know how many of you have watched Project Runway and all the seasons it's been on TV, but the stuff those fashion designers do who are competing for big prizes is often really extraordinary. And they talk overtly about art. They talk about the need to make it commercial, it has to sell, but they also want it to be art. So that would be one small example I might give. And so many people are interested in creating fashion. The arts are troubled because, as formally defined, theater, poetry, classical music, painting, whatever, dance, floating in a sea of popular culture that obviously gets more attention. And there are questions of, is there enough funding? Does the society regard us as legitimate enough, and how do we advocate for ourselves? So I have to admit that I have problems with a lot of the standard arts advocacy. I will probably talk too much about music because it's my field. So those of you who are not in music, I apologize to you, and you can probably teach me a lot about things I might have said about your areas. But in classical music, the great hope of so many people to restore the classical music audience to the size it used to have and the music to the centrality it once had in our culture is music education. I mean, obviously in past generations, people learned about classical music in school, and we have to do that again. Now, one problem with that is, does learning about it in school make you love it? I've seen a survey in a book published in 1940, people go to orchestra concerts. What made you want to go to an orchestra concert? Well, 3% answered music appreciation classes in school. The largest answer was hearing it on the radio. It was all over the radio. And I might maintain that the reason for the music education was because of the popularity of the music, and that the causality did not go the other way. But anyway, if you look at our society and the shortage of funds that we have, can anybody seriously think that we are going to get classical music taught in every school in America? Where's the money for that going to come from? Where is the political will to make it happen, especially if we define the problem in the first place as not enough interest in classical music or not enough respect for it? And finally, how can we say that classical music has to be the music that is privileged to be taught? We are a great country with a great and diverse history, and we have produced some fabulous music that's not classical. In fact, many people might say that the true American music is jazz, blues, rock and roll, Broadway musicals. That's probably the music most people identify with America. And are we to say classical music is more important, especially dangerous, I must say? I guess that's a strong word, but I will stick with it. When we know that the U.S. is evolving into a country with a non-white majority. So are we really going to insist that we go to the schools and we teach a form of music that is identified with white European culture, and that this gets taught above anything else? It seems to me impossible politically in the longer run, and also just wrong. Gives a wrong impression of the world.